This is Favors Financial Topics, various topics. So, overcoming financial setback, what should you do? Reassess your childhood experiences with your primary caregiver. Evaluate your childhood experiences with money and allowances. Consider the impact the first time you were exposed to the responsibility of money. Determine if your relationship with money and personal finances reflects a secure attachment or an insecure attachment. So I remember working prior to high school. There was some little thing that my mother's friend got me a job with her daughter, and it was like coat check for a symphony or orchestra or something like that. And I think that was my first real job, and it was way before 15, 16 years old. And I remember getting some money from that, but I don't remember managing money with. I can't even visualize the money in my hand. I had no sense or understanding of money. I did connect money to work and work to money, and labor and everything. I did do that. But if you told me about that, what I made or something, I couldn't tell you, right? But when I did get to high school, my junior and senior year, I was in a co-op program, and you went to school half a day, and then you went to work half a day. And so I worked for Hunt Oil Company in Dallas. Now I remember that paycheck. It was $4.50 an hour. And during the school year, I worked half hours, 4 hours a day. And when school was out, I worked 8 hours a day. And I definitely connected work to that, to money. And it was hard work and not hard work at the same time. It was in the accounting records room. And I remember receiving a paycheck and cashing that paycheck and everything. So I thought I was a little grown then, whatever. And then there was an expectation in the house that I had to give my mother a certain percentage. Not percentage, but some kind of money towards whatever. And what she was doing was she was teaching me the idea that wherever you go, you will always have to pay something. And to this day, I still don't have a problem with that strategy. I still don't have a problem with that. She didn't take a whole lot of money or anything like that. I still don't have a problem with that. I feel like that was a very important lesson to learn. But then she made a comment, and there's something I do have a problem with. That she made a comment that what I did with my money, I was spending it on clothes. When we would have a lunch breaks used to be an hour. And so on our lunch break, we would go down, my friends and I would go down to this little boutique shop or whatever and buy some clothes. Because I couldn't buy my own clothes when I was younger. And so to be able to buy my own clothes was very important. And so I would buy clothes. But so my mother made an interesting point that I will say I did not respect as wisdom and instruction at the time, and then I caught the consequences of that years later. She said, if you don't save any money, all you're going to do is have a closet full of clothes and no savings. And I kind of looked down on that instruction. I can say that now as 46-year-old person, but that decision to not obey that instruction, that inherent instruction, because she didn't instruct me, she just gave me a statement, and that's the problem that I have. That the statement was a very important statement to make, but she didn't sit down with me and work with me in terms of helping me to understand finances. This is my first time having a job, full-time job when school was out and half-time hours when school was in, and money is running through my hands, but I'm not getting instruction with it. Making a statement and sitting down and talking to the person about finances are two different things. And that's the problem that I had with her, because then she would make that statement and then ask for money. She would make that statement and then just sort of let me continue to spend money. It's almost like she didn't want me to have the money. However, at the same time, I'm still responsible for me, myself, right? And I do understand now just how important that statement was. And so then you want to reassess childhood experiences with your primary caregiver, because then she would make that statement, not sit me down to talk. I would give her money, which I still didn't have a problem with, because it was her teaching me how to understand that whenever you live with somebody, you got to pay something. She was trying to get me into that mindset. But then on top of that, she would ask for money. So she would have a statement like, if you don't save any money, you're just gonna have a closet full of clothes. But then turn around and take money on top of the other money without direction, without understanding, without helping me understand what's really going on. So then that relationship, where she asks over and above what I was already giving her, continued. It continued into my adulthood, in terms of adulthood, and then it continued into my college years, to the point that I said to myself, I got to stop doing this. Now, she had a job. She had a very good job. I think it was about the habit. It was just the habit. Some people just, they know you got it, they want it, and that's all that matters. And so one of my siblings does the same thing to her. Well, he knows she got it. And so he asks a certain amount of money from her every week, even though he has a full-time job, family, everything, but he wants it because he wants it. It's the habit. And so that had to come a time when I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore, because when I give it to her, it's a gift, but when I need it back, it's a loan to me. And so I had to make a decision. I prayed about it. I asked God to help me, and he gave me a strategy. And the strategy was essentially, I basically needed it back, because I was going to school, and I needed it back because it was, part of my rent. She didn't like that, and that kind of contributed to the straining of our relationship. But I'm sorry, that's what it had to be. And so then you want to evaluate your childhood experiences with money and allowances. Consider the impact the first time you were exposed to the responsibility of money. So I didn't really take full responsibility of that check. Meaning that I didn't really learn about what was in my hands. I had the check. I cashed the check. I bought some clothes. I gave whatever I'm supposed to give under the expectation of the house to my mother. And then I spent what I spent. But I didn't understand financial responsibility. That's why many people are pushing, parents are pushing for coursework in financial responsibility, especially for those individuals, those students who can begin working at a certain age. And then determine if your relationship with money and personal finances reflects a secure attachment or an insecure attachment. So if you think about debt, one of the core values for Favor's financial recovery is ethical dealings. And so if you are still having trouble paying off your debt and choosing who you're going to pay and when you're going to pay them, even if you have the money, and sometimes even if you don't have the money, that reflects an insecure attachment with debt. If you run out of money every time you cash your check, that reflects an insecure attachment with debt. But if you not only pay your basic necessities and you manage to save some money or have some money saved, even if it was just up to $500 in the bank, just in case there was an emergency, that's you developing a secure attachment with your money. So that's how you overcome financial setback. You need to reassess your childhood experiences, evaluate those experiences, consider the impact of money and having responsibility for money, and then determine what type of relationship you have with your finances, because a lot of times we have a rebound relationship with our money. We have a rebound relationship with our finances, right? We use our finances to do whatever we want to do, and then we run out of it, and then we go and get money from other places, and it's a mess, right? So these are some of the keys I want you to think about. All right. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight from this series topic. Like, subscribe, and visit. Like the video, hit the notification bell for future videos. You can visit my website, which is still in development, reginayfavors.com. You can always email me with a question, reginayfavors@yahoo.com. You will be able to purchase the book by the end of October 2021. I'm hoping that I will have it completed, completely revised rather. It is already written and done. I just have to edit it. It is Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction. Thank you for visiting the channel. Coming soon is my new book that I am working on presently and hope to complete by the end of the year, December 2021, preferably February 2022, and that is Favors, Financial Recovery, Psychological Approaches to Overcoming Financial Setback with some workbook elements. So it is it will be the book that will support the audio series, although I have developed the audio series prior to actually writing the book. So be on the lookout for this new book. When it comes out, when I finish, I will create an audio introduction to the book. Thank you again for visiting the channel.